So what I've been loving lately has been the absolute chimp out / crash out over Zohran Biryani.
Both.
As you call him.
Zohran Biryani.
Yeah. Dude, all these fucking like right-wing losers online are freaking out because there's a video of him eating with his hands. Which he's not even doing like a real proper.
Bro, it's like a guy who's never really done it. That's my issue with it. I'm like, he's doing the crane thing.
I know.
Whatever. Okay.
He's like cosplaying.
The funny thing is like a true brown guy would be like, what the fuck? And then they're like, he's taking Sharia hands.
I know.
Putting his Sharia hands.
His Hamas hands.
Hamas hand digits.
All up in the rice.
God damn it. Using the rice as human shields.
No, they're just like, this is disgusting. No American should eat with their hands.
They're going pretty crazy. Congressmen people are going crazy. They're like, when did it become okay to like be like racist? Dude. In Twitter, if you're like a Republican, it's like,
it's so insane.
This stupid Muslim loser is being Muslim. Yes,
but now all the Hindus are coming to his defense too. They're like, we eat with our hands, bitch.
No, you know what happened?
And then they're like, hey, look, Jesus used to eat with his hands too. You know?
And then right wing's like, that's why we should crucify him.
Dude,
on the cross.
It started with some rando Republican who was like, this is disgusting. No American should ever be eating with their hands. No real American eats with their hands and should be in government or whatever. Right. And then there was just a pylon of even more R-worded speech. Right.
And then his wife, who's an Indian, by the way. So I think it's Brandon Gill.
This guy.
So he was the one who did it.
Yes.
And then they were like, so the left wing was like, no, dude, you know your wife's Indian.
Like, your wife's Indian, yeah.
Then the wife chimes in.
Yes.
And she's like, actually, we're Christian MAGAs.
Yeah.
Lovers.
She's like, my family in India are Christians and they eat with forks.
And then their dads ate with forks. Yeah. And then they were the first Indians to ever eat with forks.
Yeah. Jesus died on a fork,
and
guys.
I'm like, your great-grandpa shat his dhoti.
Yeah, 100%.
Shat his dhoti and ate the shit.
100%. Well, she's like the daughter of like this guy, what's his name, Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah.
He's like proto, Bobby Jindal type. Yeah, he's like right-winger, conservative.
Political guy.
Just the most punchable looking guy as well.
Dude, what a punchable family. I mean, it's just like a very Uncle Taji family, right?
Big time.
Classic,
big time.
Right?
Big time.
Forks. We invented forks in our
eat with
Indian
forks
house.
Here. It's like we eat our pizza with a fork. And that's what Cuomo's going to do. He's going to come out and actually be like, I'm a real American who eats his pizza with a fork. You know? It's just like, I eat my wings with chopsticks.
That's where all the Browns are coming back. They're like, have you heard of pizza?
Yeah.
Have you heard of burger?
Yeah.
And like, it's a little hilarious. I mean, it's just like a very unique, I mean, I guess you're putting the finger in your mouth, I guess. That's what the extra fucking thing is.
Well, it's like, here's the thing, right? Is like what they need to understand is that video is really just for the primaries, right? Yeah. Where he's like trying to get all the Bangladeshi cab drivers on his side, where he's like, I'm just like you, G, like, here's my lota too, right?
Here's me beating somebody.
Yeah, the general election, it's going to be all forks, right? There's a video of him eating a burrito with a fork and knife on the subway. You know what I mean? If ever there was a food for your hands.
Bro, it is, I mean, I didn't realize this guy's going to be like a flashpoint for everybody's hate and love. I mean, who knew this was all waiting to happen? I had no idea that we were waiting for a Muslim figure to just come up. Because I guess, a couple Muslim women have come up. I mean, the women. No one's scared.
Yeah.
Of a woman. Even Rashida Tlaib, who is like literally militant. Like, I will like.
Well, it's also because Zohran's like a good-looking guy.
Right.
And so it's actually bringing all the latent like homo tendencies in these right-wingers, where they're just like, this guy's eating with his hands. I got something he can eat with his hands, and they're just like, they don't know. They're getting all sweaty and agitated about this.
Your gorgeous beard connects, but so is my fist to your face.
I know. Look at that big beard, that big billowy beard.
People
hiding those dimples and that charming smile.
Is that you think that when they made his beard thicker, it was just a guy trying to do Pornhub for himself?
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't a Muslim thing. It was a guy being like, I need a thicker beard for my collection.
Dude, I mean, it's crazy. And you know what's so funny is like, these guys are 100% going to lose now, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because they're like, hey, let's focus on him being Muslim. You know what I mean? Let's make Israel the topic, a country which nobody really likes, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that hard to lose on the platform. Like, do you or don't you not glaze up Israel?
100%.
How deep can Israel go into your ass,
mouth.
Right? Into your mouth, right? Like, of course, everybody's going to be like, they're going to lose on that. You know, Israel lost because you put it on the fucking platform, right?
Well, now they're doing whatever possible, right? So they're like,
but they focused on that instead of like, hey, I want to bring the magic of the DMV to grocery stores.
Right,
like,
right.
no, like that's the thing. You would any reasonable, intelligent person would want to be like, hey, these are bad policies.
that's
maybe,
gone. That's
right?
gone.
It's way past that.
Concept is gone. None of his policies are being discussed anymore.
No,
I mean,
no.
which
The
would be
platform is
interesting.
erased.
Would be
No.
interesting.
They're just like, he's an Islamo-communist,
Yeah.
which is, I didn't know that was a genre of person.
One guy called him a Muslim Maoist. I'm like, what's going on? What does that even mean? He's a Muslim Maoist. Everyone knows it. He reads Art of War. You want that guy?
That sounds like a pro wrestler name. The
Muslim
Muslim
Maoist.
Maoist.
Some Uyghur guy.
That, and they're like,
Some Uyghur Muslim.
that, and they've been calling him like Little Muhammad. I'm like, what is the... What? That's the nickname you're deciding to give this guy? Is Little Muhammad?
Dude, it's getting goofy, man.
It's only Trump can come up with these nicknames, guys.
Trump knows how to be attacking. You know, he called Chuck Schumer Palestinian.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Watch out, he's a Palestinian. What does that even mean? I think the right wing doesn't realize how the left wing does not hate the word communist. Like, the word communist doesn't have the same sting it used to in the 40s during McCarthyism or whatever. He's a communist. That word is no longer a political flash word. It's over.
It's not.
Go back to Muslim. Muslim was it.
This is New York City, though, right?
Yeah.
Communist could actually work, but instead they're like, he's a Muslim. Like, everybody here knows Muslims. You know? Everybody here knows Muslims, dude. We don't hate Muslims here.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
That's the
it's
thing,
just
is like-
not really the vibe of New York.
Because in their mind, Zohran's running for overlord of the caliphate called Earth or whatever. He's running for New York City.
New York City
He's going to talk
mayor.
about his whole day is going to be about rent and busing,
Yeah.
and that's his life.
But they're like, Muslims. It's like, dude, are you watching what's going on here? Like, people like Muslims.
Yeah.
Everybody, you ever seen Keep the Meter Running?
Yeah.
Right? It's all Muslim cab drivers who are just like, let me show you, let me humanize you. Everybody loves them at this point.
And here's the thing, dude. Rami was big too. Like, you know, he came up. They're like, here comes a Muslim, and then he's like, Garsh.
Yeah,
And
he's
everyone's
like,
I wanna tug you, boy.
I know.
Get over here, dude. It's like
Kareem. Subway takes. Who doesn't like Subway takes?
you know, like a sort of gypsy looking, you know, cool Muslim
Yeah,
guy.
like a hot Muslim guy
Hot
who's just
Muslim.
like being goofy and having fun. Nobody cares about the Islamophobe. Nobody. That's not the platform for you guys.
I'm Muslim, even though I'm giving Pajit vibes. I'm also Muslim.
you are G'd up.
Bro, the one comment on the fucking my last video, hey, Pajit's Indians come, go back to call center. I'm like, this sounds like an Indian wrote this.
It is totally.
They're like, why people cosplaying as Indians to write Indian attacks? I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. You bloody Pajit, bloody bastard Pajit.
Yeah.
Well, that's hilarious. But I mean, I think it's right. It's like when the women came up, people weren't really scared because, again, it's like women, people are still feel good. Like, oh, I can probably take her. Mm-hmm. But with like a guy who looks good, he's like, oh, he's going to actually women are like into him. Hot girls for Zohran. I'm a hot girl for Zohran. I love, you know?
He's like the Muslim Bill Clinton.
He's like hot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like a charming dude.
The thing that's going to fuck him up is if he fucks somebody.
Yeah.
If he ends up, the scandal that can really get him. What? Oh, sorry. If he fricks somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, he's the scandal that's gonna get him is gonna be something totally different than like him being Muslim.
No, it's gonna be that he's gay or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They'll use that. Oh, you want a gay guy here?
You want a gay Muslim communist?
Islamo Maoist communist? Huh? You want? you want a whole guy who reads Dask Mosquital?
Yeah. Dude,
Huh?
It's so funny though, dude. The eating the hands thing. I do think it's funny though that he did eat the hands as like a primary play. You
Right.
know what I mean? To get the cab driver.
I mean, it's the same thing as like hot sauce in the motherfucking purse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing as the Timbs that Kamala's wearing.
Yeah.
As
Kamala's
politics,
Tim's,
you know?
Hillary's hot sauce in the purse.
Right? It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's all the same concept. And Zohran does it in a way that's not too corny. You know, it's like, okay, it looks all right. It's not him with like a fucking turban on, like, hello, Sikhs, how do you do?
I know,
Whatever.
Bro, we gotta take the language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. I'll go?
Yeah.
Take it. That's what, but it's like, they're all going at him for whatever they can at this point. I feel like
They kind of are, but they're not really going after the policies
Anymore.
right? And I like Zohran.
Yeah, 'cause
like
it-
I mean,
right.
I don't love a lot, but you know, he wants to freeze the rent. I'm like, that would benefit me.
I love
in the
this
short term, you know.
personally, I love this guy. I do not know what the city-run grocery stores thing was about. I don't know if I dig that. Like, what is that going to do? Is that going to be helpful at all? But a lot of policies on a
Dude,
theoretical level is good.
Do you know what? You know what his kind of ascent to winning was actually is that he had policies where like people aren't really that into it. Like nobody cares about free buses, right? Nobody really cares about city-run grocery stores because nobody's actually starving in New York City, right? Maybe there's definitely
there's a lot of
huge
working
wealth.
class.
Listen, there's a huge wealth disparity. There's no question about that, right? But in terms of like we need city-run grocery stores. Because there are people who are starving, and that's not exactly a thing, right? His rise, interestingly enough, is that he's Muslim, and his opponents were like, "Do you like Israel? Do you like Israel or not?" And he was like, "No, nobody does." Right, and then people were like, "What? Nobody likes Israel?" Like that's what like really clinched it.
Flashpoint. I think overall his platforms of being like, "Hey, I'm for the working class." Boom.
Right.
People are like, "I'm down with that."
Right.
Whatever he said after that, who the fuck knows anymore? People don't care. They're like, "Oh, poor people, you like them? Good." It's like. That's fine. Honestly, with platforms, you got to talk with a little bit of smoke and mirrors anyway with like politics. You know, it's like, and he is a good speaker, so he's able to like say the shit pretty quick and not be too convoluted. And people are like, okay, this is clear. He's talking clear.
Yeah.
He's an articulate guy. The articulation is also, I think.
Dude, he's an unbelievable speaker.
Right.
He's an unbelievable
powerful.
speaker. He's an unbelievable communicator.
Obama level order.
Dude, he's like Clinton, Obama level, you know.
He can talk, and that's big.
Yeah. That comes from being like, I'm a rapper, and I'm like doing this. You take all the theater kid like skill sets and you bring, that's what politics is.
Boom.
You know.
Boom. He's got the technicals,
yes.
Right? Then he said like, hey, working class people, great. Okay, whatever you say, I'm great. But now when he gets into office, let's see. Let's see if this actually works, right?
Yeah.
A lot of rich people are like, no, we're going to Florida now. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're not.
You're not going
You
to
need
Florida.
bagels. You're just stupid. You're gonna stay here. You want to walk 10 steps and get to a bagel shop. I know you, dude. I know you, bro. You're fine.
I mean, for me, it's a question though, because again, I'm not like opposed to this guy, right? On a broader theoretical level at all. Is that, nobody's actually going to leave because it's really questionable whether or not he can actually execute most of these policies given the kind of disgusting, swampy, and corrupt nature of New York City politics, right? Like, can the mayor just put a rubber stamp and be like, now we're having city-run grocery stores?
Right.
I don't know. Like, I genuinely...
There are billionaires who have grocery stores.
Yes.
You know, so that's part of it. There's one big ass fat boss tweet looking thing who was like, if you take groceries,
oh, the Gristedes guy?
Yeah.
The Gristedes guy?
Jesus.
Like, nobody really shops there anyway. Whole Foods is coming eating your lunch, buddy.
Yeah. You got other problems, buddy.
Yeah, Gristedes ain't looking too good these days.
Gristedes
is looking like a government-run grocery store at this point anyway. That looks like that's straight out of Brezhnev, Brezhnev-era Soviet
100%,
Union.
dude. Gristedes sounds like an issue you have with your
stomach.
that
sounds like a disorder.
Yeah.
He's got Gristedes.
Yeah, it's like a hairy disorder. Yuck. So I mean, listen, I'm the kind of guy who I'm like, I like Zohran. Let's see what happens now. I can't vote. I'm a Canadian citizen. Let's not say that anymore. You know, let's not say that anymore. Not anymore. I'm American. American as they come, boy. Let's take that out. Actually, that's the most dangerous thing I've ever said.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get gay married like now.
We're live, folks.
But it's, I mean, dude, it's like they. Because I will say the Indian thing is interesting because like Hindu Indians were pretty much fully against this guy for a long time.
Not really.
For a little bit.
That's a misconception, right? They really are not, right? The hardline Hindutva right-winger types are because Zohran was at like a rally protesting Modi, right? And here I got in trouble on Twitter for talking about this, right? Shall I read the tweet?
Yeah.
Right? It was, they really came out for me. And usually I'm like sort of a friend to the Hindutva types, you know what I mean? But they really, really gave me a ton of shit for this.
Oh boy. Zohran should not be murdered.
Yeah, it was it was basically, here it is, right? Because this is responding to somebody else's tweet he was like, Hindu groups in NYC are campaigning hard against him, which is just not true. There is no such thing as a Hindu group in NYC, right? Here's what I posted. I said, as a New Yorker, I don't see any evidence of Hindu groups campaigning against Zohran, nor should they.
Right.
Hating Modi is not an adequate litmus test of Hindophobia.
Right.
Okay. However you feel about Modi, he's fuck off, freak off.
Big stuff.
Okay,
yeah, big stuff.
Shut up. Hating Modi is not an adequate litmus test of Hinduphobia. However you feel about Modi, he's a divisive figure in the diaspora. Plenty of Hindus dislike him. Zohran is actually just a pretty normal American DSA liberal, okay, with a posture towards Indian politics that isn't difficult to predict. Hindutvadis aping the Zionist crash out don't do anything but draw negative attention towards themselves. Read the room, dummies. Be better than the Zionists, and stop this effete, anxious paranoia that creates enemies where there are none.
You had to throw in a little.
Had to be a little mean.
A little tough, but at the
yeah,
end.
I'm sorry. It's my nature. It's my svabhava to be a little bit of an uncle and slap people around.
Well, it's like because he's like talking to you, right, Pranav, and then out of nowhere. So anyway, it just comes out of nowhere. The slap, you don't even see it coming.
Yeah, I
Jesus
mean,
Christ.
I didn't need to, but then people crashed out on me over this, right? They're like, look at this video of him protesting against Modi.
Pranav will do a whole thesis, right? At the end, be like, right, retards.
Yeah.
At the end,
it's that is my way. I'm trying to clean up my act, though. And that's what it is, right? Like, honestly, I look at Zohran and I'm like, I look at his background, like he is just, as in terms of like an Indian,
right?
He's really just a standard Congressy and like lib Indian.
Grew up in America, lib Indian guy.
Yeah, he's not like his mom is Mira Nair. He comes from a mixed background, right? I don't think that he's like a devout Muslim, right? He's not like, I called him an Islamist at one point before, which maybe he actually is, right? Like his politics are.
We don't even know anything about.
He believes in the Ummah, right? Exactly.
But I don't see that. I don't see that Islam's going to affect his policies.
It's like there's a lot of like lib Hindus who are like, no, we should, and like that's the thing, guys. This is to all the Hindus out there. Like, do you really want Hinduism to become synonymous with Modi? Like, do you really want that? Like, no, you don't want that, okay? The reason why Hinduism has actually survived many attempts to kind of erase it throughout history, throughout millennia, right? The reason why it survived is because it's a decentralized spiritual lineage, which is in a constant state of evolution, right? Not because it's like completely centralized as one thing, and then anything that strays outside of that is not Hindu, right? That's how you set yourself up for extinction. So the fact is, and I'm sorry, I'm on a soapbox a little bit right now, right?
Well, you call him an Islamist, so you have to undo that a little bit. That's good.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, right? His politics can be generally categorized on that side, right? If you wanted to.
Well, I don't think Islam affects his policy, but I get it. It's like you're right. It's like this is. If you're
well, look, he's an Islamist
hating him based on some comments about Modi.
I say he's an Islamist. I don't even mean it like he's like a jihadist type or whatever. I just mean in the sense that, like, look, if you look at his primary run, right, what is he doing? He's going to mosques, right, and he's saying, like, as a Muslim, we need to unite as a political entity, right?
Sure.
All right, and as a polity, that's what it is. And so to me, that's all I really mean by it. Maybe that's not the correct term, and maybe if so,
like. Calling all gay imams and trans halal cart vendors.
Wait, what about?
You know, like when he's saying, like, we need to get all the Muslims together. I think he's meaning like New York progressive Muslims.
I agree, 100%.
So he's like calling all like
dude, no, the
barista Muhammad.
Look, this guy is not like a dyed-in-the-wool Quran thumper. Okay, he's out there going for pride parades and talking about trans rights and stuff like that. Like he is he's just a leftist lib.
Yeah.
Right, and his parents are not hardline. I mean, his dad, who I have hella respect for, his dad is a brilliant scholar of post-colonialism and colonial politics.
Didn't he fight
in general.
apartheid in South Africa, like directly?
No, I don't. Not that I know of.
Okay.
But I mean, he's from Uganda,
right? But I think he was like he used to go and fight, like he used to whatever the protests
maybe
were.
I
whatever
don't know. But he wrote some pretty amazing books though about colonial subjects and good Muslim, bad Muslim, and stuff like that. Like I knew a lot about his dad before I'd ever heard of him. You know,
right?
Good Muslim, really smart guy. It's a great book.
It's a great book.
Showing off my Islamophilia a little bit.
I wanted to like interrogate people like that.
I know.
Coming in, hey, what's going on? So did you steal? No? Okay, I'll be right back. Comes back, fucking burqa. So, what's up?
But the point about Zohran is that he comes from an internationalist background. Right? He comes from an affluent background. His mom comes from relative affluence. His dad is an esteemed scholar, right? So it's not like that's who he is. He's a product of that. He's an internationalist leftist. And he probably is a Marxist, you know what I mean?
That's what I get. I think some of his maybe more left ideology he's not bringing out, you know, for New York. He's like, listen, I'm just going to focus on the buzzers, all right?
But my problem with the Hindutvadis who are coming after me and starting to talk shit about him.
What was the comments?
So the comments were like, I'll get to that, right? But it's like, they're like acting like he has some specific animus about Hindus, right? Which I don't really think that's the case.
Right, same.
You know what I mean? He has a very lib stance, which is very predictable about Modi, about Narendra Modi, about the BJP and RSS and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Which one can get into the debates and all that stuff, right? But I don't think that he is himself motivated by a hatred of Hindus. I don't think that's the case at all. I think he's just actually like an internationalist, leftist, South Asianist, broadly speaking.
All right.
That's my take on it.
Boom.
But people were coming at me. They're just like, you're an idiot, man. This guy wants to exterminate. I just like,
Exterminate.
Not exterminate, but it's just like dumb stuff.
The city-run grocery stores are just a front.
Yeah.
For the Hindu refugees.
Actually, a lot of people were supportive. This was interesting as I gained followers from this.
Yeah.
Like he's with the Khalistanis. He called Modi a war criminal. I'm like, dude, yes, these are all things that you can be expected of him, right? Like these are all things that can be expected of him. These aren't things that he's like going out of his way to do.
And these are things that some Hindus have said too, right?
Yeah, these are things that Hindus absolutely.
So it's like, why is it okay when a Hindu says it, but not?
There's a lot of Hindus who don't like Modi. That's just a fact, And I'm not saying I'm one of those Hindus, right? I think Modi has actually done some pretty great things for the whole country of India, and whatever. Like there are things that are obviously divisive about this guy. Don't attach the entirety of Hinduism on this guy. And then the second thing is this: there is no Hindu groups. There is no Hindu political organizations in New York or really elsewhere, right?
Really?
There are, but they're small, huh?
They are?
Not, there's not, dude. And the reason
There's
why...
The Tabla meetup.
No, the reason why, right? No, there's like Hindu American Foundation and stuff like that are trying to become a
Have
thing.
you been to Union Square, buddy?
The Hare
Okay. Have you heard them singing? All right.
But it's because Hindus have, by and large, had a very charmed existence in this country and in this city. Okay, that Ganesh temple out in Flushing has been around for like 50, 60, 70 years, something like that. It's been around a long time. Okay.
Mostly Hindu professionals, right? It's a bunch of Hindu professionals coming in to America.
Hindus,
so it's like
Hindus have a charmed existence here.
So that they came in as professionals. They're not the homeless people they're bringing in. And it was like they already came in at a certain class. And so, boom, it's like...
Right. So the Hindu as a polity in America is non-existent because it doesn't need to exist. There's never been any widespread, real potent discrimination.
They have a polity. It's called being Republican.
I mean, that's not true either. That's not true either. Do you know how many Democrat, like Ro Khanna, right?
Yeah.
Leftist, dyed-in-the-wool Democrat congressman. This other guy who looks like he's made of AI, I'm forgetting his name. He's trying to open up an impeachment case against Trump, Indian congressman, what's her name? Pramila Jayapal, another Democrat, Indian, right? You know what I mean? So they're all over the place. Hindus don't vote as Hindus. They vote as capitalists, actually, right? That's their main thing. So we just don't have the need to organize here. We haven't really had the need. Muslims have that need because after 9/11, the Islamophobia was coming out. Before that, CARE or any of those organizations didn't really have a lot of steam behind them. You know what I mean?
That's one thing is that the hate really
Talking too much.
It's okay. It's okay. Hate does create more galvanization on the other side too. It's like that's what it is. So you will get more. Zohran was not that popular. Like, dude, 3 weeks ago he was just a guy.
Yes,
just a fucking guy on subway takes. Yes. Hey, blah blah blah. Now he's eating biryani, and that's a political event. This guy has gotten his glow up is crazy now.
I know.
If he uses the lotta, it's gonna be over, dude. We don't wash our asses here in America. Stop washing your fucking ass. Keep it dirty. God
Keep it crusty.
Keep it crusty. Pizza Hut comes with a fucking anti-Mamdani motto, fucking directive ad-wise. Keep it crusty, right? From Pizza Hut. Jesus Christ, dude. It's old school 01 vibes, man. It's old school one. And back then there was no political guy on the top being like, so after 9/11, you couldn't run for office as a Muslim or you got to control. Like, I am Muslim. All right, I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't allow halal carts at Ground Zero. It's like, can I just fucking sell a falafel here? Yay!
So, listen, stop saying fuck. Please, I'm begging you. But, and we'll talk about it more after, right? But I think yes, I mean, 100% right. It's the hatred that feeds into it, right? Zohran would not have actually his ascent would not have been as meteoric as it had been.
Meteoric?
Meteoric.
Yeah.
If people didn't decide to put Israel on the agenda as somehow New York needs to have a foreign policy towards Israel, right? When people were like, heard him be like, no, I'm not going to Israel. I'm focusing on New York. People are like, oh, yes.
Right.
That's what we want, right?
Right.
Anyway.
What? That seemed like a comma for more.
No, it's just like you. That's what did it. You know what I mean? It's not even that he's Muslim or like he was able to like galvanize Muslim vote in New York, right? Those are his big voter base of Muslims, right? Working class Muslims, and then kind of upper middle class, white libs, DSA style libs.
I need Zohran to lean in. Want his next video to be in a cave.
In upstate New York.
And he's like in like camouflage.
Kafia.
But not talking to Air accent, just be like normal, like free buses. We're talking city run grocery stores. Like, but if he's in a kafia, that's what I need. I need him to like kind of like
trans rights are human rights.
Trans rights are human rights. Yeah. Okay, we need free buses for the most number of people. I need more now. I need him to lean in because if they're gonna go that far, I need him to joke about it because now it's like, don't go the left wing route of like, but I'm not. I know. I'm a great guy because that's lame. That's lame. Okay, get in there. Be funny. You're a funny guy, Zohran. I can see it. Stay funny. That's all I ask Zohran. It's like stay funny with it. Don't give it that Elizabeth Warren treatment of like, actually I am Cherokee. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's lame, and that's why we always have lost last couple of.
No, but that's the whole point though, is that he's not that.
I keep saying what I mean? Like I'm like a fucking Democrat. I'm just saying like, bro, like, please just keep it fun because like, the one thing about left-wing people is that they just can't take a joke, and that's Trump.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Bowing.
Trump comes in like Rodney Dangerfield.
Right.
Just like, you get no respect. What do I say?
Yeah. Take my Muslims, please.
Now they are talking about like now because he is probably going to win.
Yeah.
Now they're doing the fully, and I'm trying not to say the R word, imbecilic move of being like, we should deport this guy. They're trying to do like the Obama what was it?
Playbook Hussein Muslim
the thing where he wasn't a citizen, wasn't an actual citizen, he wasn't born here.
Oh yeah.
The whole birth certificate thing with Obama. That's what they're trying to do to him now. And I'm like, you guys keep using different losing playbooks out of American political history.
Right. I mean, listen, dude. Like
Tucker Carlson glazed up Zohran Mamdani. That's crazy. He was like, "Yo, this is the one guy in the thing who didn't like kowtow to Israel. Good job."
Dude, Tucker Carlson. You told me apparently he's been like this for a while. Apparently he's like not himself anymore. I had no idea. Well, he lost all the Fox ad dollars, so now he's like, this is who I actually am.
But that's why he lost them, though, was because his views were becoming too like his foreign policy views.
He actually started talking about his shit. Like, what do you? Yeah. I feel like he didn't talk about what he actually wanted to talk about for 20 years, and he was like,
no, I think he did. He himself says, he's like, no, I actually had to look at all the mistakes that I made politically, like supporting the Iraq war and stuff like that, and have a sort of reckoning with myself, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, you had to have like a come to Jesus moment.
Tucker talking about himself.
Yeah,
like, and then I did this. Shut up.
Yeah, okay, I didn't like listen to, but he was just like, oh,
it's
yeah.
Like Cosby being like, yeah, I just realized that raping is bad. It's like, dude, yeah.
But he was just like, the war on terror was stupid and a huge mistake, and there was absolutely no reason for it, and Israel is at fault for it. This is his perspective,
Boom.
right?
Boom. This is Tucker Carlson, by the way. Yeah. Just reiterate, this is Tucker Carlson saying all this stuff. Insane. I'm blown away. I told you I was blown away.
It's like impressive, right? But everyone's had to pivot now since the pandemic of like,
what's next?
The vibe shift is like completely shifted, right?
Rush Limbaugh's trans now? Who's next?
He's transhuman. He's dead.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd come back up. Listen, by the way, I was gay the whole time. Go back to being dead.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Come here. This is my cat. Did everybody see my cat?
What do you think, buddy? Anyway, any last thoughts about...
He's got those blue eyes. He's like...
He's terrifying.
Deport him.
Aryan cat, huh?
Yeah. Listen, if they try to deport Zohran, there's going to be just like total hell to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know? Nobody's going to really get behind that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very exciting time in politics. I'm getting some splashback. I'm doing like, hey, Zohran. And everyone's like, just some random fucking, AK-47 avatar looking things. You're a stupid fuck. You're a communist loser, and you're a Maoist. I've been called a Maoist lately. And everyone knows that's my vibe. Liang Chi Chao.
But the only place Maoists actually exist at this point are like Nepal, in certain parts of eastern India.
Sure. Have you been some dim sum joints at late night, maybe? If I see a Asian guy with like the no collar shirt, I'm like, uh-oh.
Dude, Chinese people here hate the Communist Party, is the thing. My girlfriend's parents are just like...
anti.
Super anti, dude. Super vitriolically against it.
Most Chinese people, I think, here, working class Chinese people love America because they love working.
Yeah.
They love working 100 hours a day.
They do. They're like...
Oh, I can do that here? Yes, please.
I need to open up a new laundromat, Dude, they love it.
Dude, it's so funny.
They love it, dude.
Chinatown is like, I've been writing at this dim sum shop recently after shows. I just go to this one place and I just like write. And bro, these Chinese people they don't change for nobody. The same scene you'd see in 1995, see in 1945 on the railroad. These guys don't change. They work forever and they hang out with each other.
They work forever. They take whatever they're given. The laundromat that I go to, it just opened up. The guy who is like basically in there doing all the laundry, stone-faced Chinese guy, doesn't speak a word of English, will grunt at you, right? When you get the laundry back, stone cold, just standing on business, working in a Miley Cyrus t-shirt, just rocking the Miley Cyrus t-shirt. He's like, take it whatever he can get. This guy shops at the Lost and Found. Doesn't care. Okay, he's stacking Benjamins, one Jefferson, one Washington at a time.
You don't give a damn. Yeah. I saw a guy who opened a laundromat near my neighborhood, and he was white, but within a week he became Chinese. That's how Asian laundromats are. You become a Chinese.
He was squatting with like a 777 cigarette brand.
Rupert, is that you? Rupert, no here. It's Chao now.
I tomorrow.
No here. You buy. Insane.
I like how Pranav thought the guy bought that shirt. He just took it from...
I said he's shopping at the Lost and Found,
I mean, he put his hand into a dryer and took it out.
Like
and
left now in the dryer. He's like...
the Lost and Found. Dude, you won't not want for clothes if you're the son of an Asian laundromat entrepreneur.
He's got all mismatching socks.
Yeah.
And then his daughter's wearing a full suit. It's crazy out there. It is wild. And he's happy when his wife isn't in the room. That's his joy. That's all he needs.
Yeah.
I think. Did I tell you the story of I was watching One Piece while doing laundry, and then the Asian owner walks by and he says, "Oh, One Piece! I like One Piece." I'm like, we should not be connecting on anything. We have Jesus Christ, One Piece. My guy.
Now you guys are hanging out.
My guy loves One Piece. Anyway, that is the beauty of America. Immigrants.
It is.
Diversity, inclusion.
And this is New York, too. These right-wingers are so dumb. What do you expect? People don't come here, but
it's so dumb.
It's not Ohio, you losers.
Yeah.
It's New York.
They don't get
You
it.
come here for the diversity. You're coming here for the halal carts. You're coming here for the drag queens. You're coming here for the transes, And
the ones
you're not coming here for So because it's an upstanding, because it's small to Smallville or whatever,
The ones that you see on Facebook, I live in New York now and I hate this. They're Jersey Italians who are typing from their mom's basement. Yeah. They don't live in New York. All right, no one who lives in New York actually gives a gosh dang.
Exactly.
See, I learned at the end, at the very end.
Very good.